Hi guys, in this series of videos I'll talk about how to be a band that sounds big with only one guitarist. There's lots of bands with only one guitar player, Queen, Led Zeppelin, The Who, their early incarnation. In this episode I would like to talk about various gadgets that you can use to sound like there's more of you than just one of you. Let's take a look at my pedal board. I have my loop station, my Boss, I have the freeze pedal, this is my Zoom multi-effects processor, and this is the second pedal that controls the looper. So Electro Harmonix' freeze pedal is amazing, very simple. It has several modes of operation. You can select whether you want the frozen note or chord to sort of play indefinitely until you click it again, or you can select it so that if your foot is on the button it plays it, when you take it off it stops right away, or it sort of trails off. I like mine to stop right away. It also has a level of how loud you want the note to sound. So the easiest application of that pedal is if you're playing one of those one chord jams, you can simply press the pedal, play a chord, press the pedal, then crank your volume and then solo over that chord. It's very important to obviously be louder than the rhythm, in this case the frozen chord. And all you do is you do this, you play a chord, right, or something, you press the pedal and it just sustains it indefinitely. So crank up your volume. That's the easiest application of this pedal. The next thing you can do is you can sort of simulate the multiple guitar players kind of playing together. So you can just freeze occasional notes and it'll sound something like that. Now notice that if you're playing double stops, it doesn't ever sound clear because your distortion pedal just kind of compresses those two notes and makes it sound dirty. A single note is always going to sound very clean. So if you freeze a single note and then you play an additional single note together, they will sound like they're two guitar players harmonizing. So like if I play an A and a D and a C sharp together, it will sound like that. But if I freeze one of the notes, it will sound very clean and you can hear both notes very clearly. So if you don't have a freeze pedal, I highly recommend it. You don't have to use it in every song, but sometimes you can also do tricks like this with the freeze pedal. You can freeze a chord and then you use the whammy and bend them down like this. Let's play just the E major chord. Or you can even practice and press your wah-wah pedal and the freeze at the same time, and it'll sound, if you're playing like harmonics, it'll sound pretty cool. All these dissonance sound really fun live. The next thing you can do is you can go home and prepare a backing track. One thing to note is that loopers, they're great live for something quick, but don't expect your drummer to just like be able to hear a backing track and not get out of sync with it. So if you do have a backing track, I highly recommend having sort of, maybe not for the whole song, but maybe for the chorus, record some organ and something that is more along the lines of a pad that's not really like rhythmical, so that if the drummer is a little bit ahead or behind, it doesn't sound like it's clashing with the rest of the band. So my Boss's loop station, I have several saved patches that I prepared at home. You can save it so that if your pedal board is unplugged and then you plug it back in, the loop is stored on your pedal. So here's an example of what one of my loops sounds like, and once again I have the second pedal that allows me to stop the playback of the loop in case there's any problem, or that way I can go back to the verse, for example, quickly without triple tapping it. So here we go. See that nice simple pad? Something like that you can prepare at home. Cancel. Right. And then finally, I have a Zoom multi-effects processor. It has, you can choose any sort of a sound or effect. Delay will fill up your space very nicely. It does not have to be as pronounced as this, but if you want to deafen a bunch of people, use a pretty loud delay like this. Sounds like there's several guitars, because there are. Because it's a delay, it multiplies your signal. So just some ideas, some thoughts. In the next episode I will talk about the choice of notes without any trickery. How to choose the right note to really kind of hit that chord in between, so that you're playing a lead line, but at the same time you are sort of filling up the sonic space with just one note. So that will be the topic of the next episode. Obviously Brian May is great at that, other guitarists as well, but we'll talk about more of that stuff in the next episode. Thank you.